You are listening to the podcast To Be Single or Not to Be by Shanna Montana, a podcast where we talk about the single life, dating, and relationships so you can make a decision at the end of each episode to be single or not to be. So today's topic is dating in 2019. Is it truly a war zone? And from personal experience, I kind of think it is. That is what prompted this episode. I'm a person who's out there right now. I'm on the hunt. I'm on the search. If you listen to this and you're single and you're my type, or if you need to find out if you're my type, let me know. But in the meantime, in between time, there's some stuff going on in the dating world, and I can only speak from the perspective of myself and the wonderful guest that I have here, and I'll introduce in just a minute on what we think about it. So, you know, I've had the honor and sometimes the displeasure of being the victim of this dating scene, and I felt that it was imperative that I let you all know that it is not for the weary. However, I am still up for the good fight in hopes that one day, one of my dreams with one of these men will come true. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to take it from here. And I'm going to introduce some of the guests that we have in place. And we finally have a gentleman who was willing to sit down and have a conversation about things like this. Because, guys, if you all don't know, I really do struggle to get men on here who are willing to talk about this dating and relationship world. And I don't know why when they are an intricate part of it. So first, we will start by introducing a regular guest we've had on the show, Miss Courtney. Say hello.
Hey, y'all.
That soft voice, y'all should be used to it by now. And the gentleman in the room, we have Mr. Ernest. Say hello.
Hello.
Look, he throwing up the peace sign.
Yeah,
like, y'all can see him. Look, first time guests do it all the time. And last but not least, we have Miss Crystal.
Hi, everyone.
All right. So we are going to get right to it. So first up, we're going to do a round table real quick to find out if you are single and if you are currently on the dating scene. So Courtney, what's your status?
Single, not on the dating scene.
Okay, not on the dating scene. We're going to come back to that. All right. Ernest, what about you?
Single, on the dating scene, but kind of not on the dating scene.
We gonna come back to we about to right now. Okay, so Courtney, you said you are not on the dating scene. Tell us why you are not on the dating scene right now.
Ooh, several reasons. So I think my biggest thing is it's just not on my radar. Like a lot of people, you're on the dating scene because you're looking for something right now, and I'm not looking for something right now. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to it.
Okay.
And if I were in public and something were to happen, that I wouldn't be open to exploring that. But as of right now, I'm not really pressed at all. And then you know how I felt in the last podcast about Nashville being a little too small.
Yeah, this is true.
And just feel like, you know, my friend might have talked to him, several friends might have talked to him, so you just really don't know. And then I think my third piece is just the dating apps. Like, I think I tried dating apps way back in like 2009.
Before they was really popping.
Before they were really popping, and even at that time, the options were
I don't think they didn't got no
awful.
better.
They are awful, and then on top of that, they're either ready for a relationship right now, or they're living second lives, or
what's that mean?
They got a whole wife and family in real life, and then they on the dating app like, oh hey, I'm single. Yeah, you know, I'm single, trying to see what you're on. And I've seen some of my friends' husbands on the dating app, so it's just like you're saying you want to be friends, but we all know if you're on a dating app, it's not a friend app,
right?
You know, so
I can't wait to get to that segment. It's not a friend app; it's a dating app,
right? Not to be confused with rushing into a relationship.
Right.
But,
I get it.
You want to go through that natural, organic piece of it all, but you can't be married talking about some, hey, I'm just looking for friends. Yeah. It's like, no,
don't go that way. Friend. Right, it doesn't go that way.
We're the only friends we need to be.
Not at all. So. But I love that perspective. I think, like you said, even though you may not be out looking on the hunt, you are open to if something in the universe was brought your way that you wouldn't just say no. I'm a hard no, depending on the circumstances. So I really like that view. So Ernest, you stated that you are single, and what was it?
Kind of on the dating scene, but kind of not.
Well, explain, elaborate.
What I mean by that, same thing as Courtney. All right, I'm receptive to it. I mean, if something comes my way, then I'm open to it. But at the same time, I'm not out looking, so I'm not on any apps, anything. So that's the problem that my friends say I have. Is like they're like, how are you gonna get a woman if you're not doing anything? So
you don't be in church like looking around.
No,
like me.
like
it's just me.
It's like grocery store. If I'm in a grocery store, I'm too busy, you know.
No, I'm in the
shopping,
grocery store looking.
I have a goal, you know.
That's what they had in the grocery store.
You know? But then at the same time, I'm so oblivious to things that, if she did come up and say something to me, I'd probably be like, okay.
Not even recognize it. She's like shooting a shot.
You just thinking, she's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Like one time I was at a gas station. Clear, I don't know if she was trying to get at me or what, but she was like, hey, where's the party at? What are you getting into? I responded, said, I'm going home. So I didn't realize. And then when I told my friends later, they're like, dude.
Like, she was trying to see what was up.
And I was like, I was like, I'm going home. And she's like, oh, okay. And I got in the car and left.
Oh, so missed the love connection.
I am oblivious to a lot of it stuff.
So you got to put your antennas up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to be a little bit more in tune. Okay, I get it. So you just not, we would say you are single, you just not paying attention.
Yeah, clearly I'm not.
I get it. So Crystal, what is your status?
Oh, Lord. I am very single and very unsuccessfully in this dating scene.
Okay. And we are going to dive into that, especially those of us that are unsuccessfully on the dating scene. So I am single as a dollar bill, single as a Pringle, and I am the same way, unsuccessful on this dating scene because I refuse to lower my standards. And I know, and a lot of other things, I think I know exactly what I want. And I don't think the whole package of what I feel I can give to somebody else, I don't feel like that whole package has been presented to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like if I'm going to be somebody's, quote unquote, everything, why I got to get half, if I just want to be out here compromising. So we kind of in the same boat with this whole dating thing. So what has been, and I'm going to talk to you right now, Crystal, because you are kind of out here unsuccessfully dating. What has been your experience recently with the dating scene? Like what stands out? What's good? What's bad? What's making you want to call it quits?
Well, for me, in person and online and on the dating apps, I feel like I'm getting or attracting the same type of man who it seems like they're just out here trying to see if they still got it.
Okay.
So I'll meet a man in person, we'll exchange numbers, I'll never hear from him. Or
why do you think, Ernest, calling you, why do men do that? You give me your number. It seems like we have good energy. I haven't given you really any, I don't seem crazy when we first meet. And then I never hear from you again. Is it what she said? They were just trying to see if they still had it, or?
I believe it could be some of that. They're trying to see if they still have it, or did they ask you for the number?
Absolutely.
Or okay.
Like, yes, they did.
I just out here handing out my number.
Honestly, I really don't have an answer because I'm not that type of guy. So
so if you ask for the number, you say
I'm gonna call. Yeah, because trust me, if I ask you for the number, it took a lot
for me to ask for
it. So I'm not gonna waste that opportunity. But I really don't have an answer for that.
It's okay.
But even on the apps, I have the same experience. So, like, when you're matching with people, if you swipe left and they swipe left, you both get notified.
Yeah.
Hey, you two are a match. It's like, I get all these matches.
Yes.
And then my inbox still empty. Like, you don't want to talk about how we matched.
Right,
why we get to each other. And even in those situations, I'm like, okay, well, Crystal, why don't you reach out first? And even when I do, it's like they don't respond or...
Real dry.
It's real basic. Like if I say, hey, how are you? They say fine. They don't say fine, how are you? They don't try to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I've had the same experience where you really are sometimes leading the conversation and it goes nowhere. Or you end up, I've had just a few where the conversation has kind of went somewhere and then you meet up and then after that it's like, ping, it just falls to the wayside. When it's like, I'm pretty sure I didn't show up with like crazy on my forehead for the person to, disappear. But, everybody is in like a different space. People have different intentions. But I really stands out to me, like Courtney had said earlier, I don't get why people are on dating apps if they're not looking to date or hang out or do whatever it is they want to do. So we're going to get into that a little bit later. But I want us to all talk about right now. What do you all think are some of the biggest issues that we face right now in 2019 that make dating so hard?
Well, I know a lot of men have spoken to me about not wanting to feel used by a woman.
So tell us what they mean.
Well, and I'm not trying to speak for men. I'm just speaking
your experience
on behalf of the people that I've spoken to about this. So they just feel like, they want to be taken out too, and they don't want to be the one spending money all up front before they realize if they like the person, because they feel like in certain instances, I guess in their past, they've been used before. Like they saved in girls' phones as dinner. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to be, in that situation. So they're like, okay, first date, let's go to Starbucks. Let's go walking. Let's go,
something. And that's okay. I think it's something free, but I think also maybe that's a sign of the times too, where men are feeling like even the first date is too much. Like, no, go ahead.
To add to that, I can kind of get that point, because I think sometimes women may not realize that men dating, that's expensive.
It is.
It is. And the thing is, sometimes as a man, you don't know if she goes out with you. Is she going out with you because she likes you, or she thinks that, there may be something, or does she just, because I have a lot of women as friends, and some of them just want somebody to take them out.
Right.
So they're not looking for anything. Like, you could be on Facebook and they'll say stuff like, I just want a night out. I just want to go out, get dressed up and go somewhere.
Want to go on a date.
So so as a man, you don't know if she's really into you,
right,
or she's just trying to
use you. Just to be clear, be frank.
Just to get, just to have a night out.
But isn't it a roll of the dice regardless? Because if you've been unless you know the person and have history with them, if they're really a stranger that you've met, like say out somewhere or on an app or something, we both are taking a chance. The hope is that we'll go and we'll both like each other and it'll turn into something. But you really can't control that. So I think that's a tough spot. I get that dating is expensive, because if it does turn into something, you go on multiple dates, the expectation majority of the time is for men to pay for it. And that can add up. But I think that it's not fair in a sense for a man to feel like, I guess it's tough to say whether it's fair or not, because a man has the right to feel like, I don't want to pay for something if I don't know how it's going to go. But I think there are free things that you can do. It's so many, like you said, or cheap things. If you want to go to Starbucks, go to Panera.
On the flip side, if you try to take a woman out and you try to do cheap stuff, she's gonna be like, oh, he ain't trying to spend any money on me.
It just depends on how well you keep my attention. Like, if you can keep my attention span without spending a dime, like, I might keep you around. Like, seriously. Like, if it takes you spending money on me for me to develop interest, I don't really need a man for that. Most of my friends don't need men to take them out to eat. We can feed ourselves just fine. But like I said, if you can keep my attention and you ain't spent the dime, honey, you might win.
That might get you somewhere. What you thinking?
I think the biggest piece, even when I was out on the dating scene, as mentioned before, is the communication piece. Like, you get out there and a lot of men, and even maybe some women, do not know how to continue a conversation.
What'd you just say on the app?
Talk.
Beyond,
hey,
how are you?
Small talk type of person.
Right.
Like, either we're going to talk about something or we're not going to talk about something.
Right.
And I'm quick to be like, you know what, this is not working, so you have a great night.
Right.
I wish you well. Have a safe trip home. That's the biggest piece, and that was one of the bigger struggles when I did find someone. It was just like, so I have to keep the conversation going, and if you don't have a way to keep the conversation going or get creative, not everybody wants to go out to eat.
Right.
And
that makes sense, because I think we get stuck on that. We just think the first date is like dinner or the movies, when it's so much more that's possible to do.
Movies.
Right. That's a safe date. Like, if you kind of don't like the person, let's go to the movies, because I don't have to talk to you or really look at you. Right. But I think what you said about communication. So tell me, what kind of dates, because you are more of a creative, what kind of dates would you say the person may need to go on if they are maybe in the position like Ernest is saying with guys, like, I don't want to spend all this money, or maybe if it comes down to money, art gallery.
I know for me, an art gallery, a museum, any type of exhibit that might be going on in the city that weekend. Somebody that knows how to be resourceful, because that says a lot to women. Like, if you can sit up there and find something that I haven't done before, then that's cool. You saying, okay, well, let's go to this restaurant. Like she said, I can feed myself. I don't necessarily care for you to take me out to eat. Right. Quite frankly, I don't really care about that. We can't talk about anything anyways, and I'm a conversationalist. So, But I would say that, or if you're talking about hobbies, if you know, hey, she likes to paint, y'all can go paint at the little
they have the paint and sip, the pottery. They have all kinds of stuff. You make candles.
Yeah, you can do candles, pottery. If he wants to get touchy-feely, he can get behind her and, do that whole thing. You have miniature golf, you have top golf, you have...
So you have a plethora of things in Nashville to do for people to choose from. But I think it goes to elaborate on that. So one of the biggest things is one, like you said, the men, you put the energy out there, you don't get it back. And then you deal with the communication, because you do find that where the small talk is terrible, you have nothing to talk about beyond, once you find out what a person does for a living, what are they, the favorite colors, I'm beyond stuff like that. You find that. So I think that's an issue with men have to recognize, because they, sometimes men get the tag that they don't like to talk, they don't like to have conversations. What do you think about that, Ernest? Is that true to some extent that, is it tougher for men to communicate, or is it just if they? Yeah, you're a talker. You can talk. Yeah. But do you think that maybe it's if they're interested in the person? But how do you really know? You can't really X that out. No, because some men just are not good. They can't communicate.
Yeah. But it's just like you have resources again. Go online and look at some questions that you can pull up and be like, all right,
prepare.
Be absolutely
prepare. Just like you look up those J's coming out. Just put that same energy into this day of coming out to get to know me.
Texting me what you doing. Get on Google.
Yeah, do something.
YWN.
They said YWN. What you need.
Right.
What you need. That's what I want. I think another thing that makes it hard in 2019 is a lack of consistency. I think that many times, and we've talked about this in a lot of other episodes, that men and women, the first couple of months, get those emoji hearts out of your eyes, because in the beginning, that's the honeymoon stage. Everything is great. If a person can consistently do those things, when I say consistently, I'm talking about like 6 months and more consistently do that, because it's like if a man starts opening your door the first month and then by the second month he stopped, but you like, you give the excuse in your mind, like, I didn't even really like that anyway. You make an excuse for him, but then you start to see other things fall off. So I'm going to ask, as the gentleman in the room, I am going to come to you on this one. Why do you think there's a lack of consistency with men? And I am going to put this one on men, because I feel like women, in my experience, we are being more proactive, whether it be on the app, in person, trying to plan things, reaching out. And
okay.
Go ahead. I'm saying, like, you...
Like, as far as opening up doors and stuff, I always do that because, one, I learned that from my father. My mom and dad been married this year. It'll be 42 years.
We probably shouldn't even have you on the show then. It's
right.
So I already do those types of things. But as far as like planning dates, the last woman that I dated, it just ended like a few months ago. But I'd say probably 90% of the time I planned everything.
You were the planner.
I planned everything.
So you were consistent.
Yeah.
What do you think make brothers be not consistent then? Like, what happens there?
I think maybe because I like a lot of different things. So there's a lot of different things I like to do. So like how you mentioned the art show, our very first date that we went on was last year, 2018. I took her to I don't know if y'all have ever been to the Vanguard art show.
Mm-hmm.
I took her there. So she had never been, I had never been. So it's a lot of different things that I like to do. We did the the painting thing. So we do a lot of different things, but I think some men aren't really open to different things. So that's why they go back to, let's go out to dinner, or let's go to the movies, or let's go bowling, because they're not
used to trying other things, and it would take energy, like we just said, prepare.
And I also feel like women out here are not expecting or placing
women are not demanding enough
on the men to do different things. They're just happy with what they can get, because it's just so hard to get anything out of them.
Yes.
And that's why some of the men
take me to the movies.
We gotta go eat. Let me put my good dress on, baby. Take me somewhere. They're just excited to go, to be around and be.
And I have to call women out on that, because we've talked about that a lot recently. It's been offline, but I think that women have gotten to a space, and I get that it is tough out here right now for some of us, but we have gotten to a space where we demand so little that I think men are giving us so little for that reason, because like you just said, you take somebody out, you offer to take somebody out, you offer to take them out for a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and they are excited and ready to go. So when Courtney comes along and she says, I want to go to the art gallery, like, well, now I could call so-and-so.
You can go to Red Lobster.
Right, look. Right. I don't have to deal with that. So it's like, I think that as women, we have to make sure that we have our list of standards, non-negotiable, certain things that we want and desire. And if we are not getting those things, that we don't stay in those situations. We should never be in a situation where we are just happy to be here. Right. Because I think that's what happens, why men do become inconsistent in the efforts of what they are putting out there. I think another part of it, and what do you guys think about this? I think is fear of commitment.
Fear of commitment, fear of being hurt.
Fear of a lot.
Being used, all of that.
It's a roll. It's a dice roll. What do you think, Courtney? Go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
I was just saying. I just feel like if you are at the point in your life where you are saying that you're open to love, then you also need to be open to being hurt.
Yeah, it's a risk.
We need a moment of silence for that.
I mean, for real, because that's the risk you take every time. And I mean, when you think about the people in your lives who've actually hurt you, they're people that you love.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So if some stranger, I mean, they could probably physically hurt you, but no stranger for me can hurt my feelings. I don't even know you like that.
Right.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
you to have that kind of power over me.
Exactly. So it's always the people that you love that end up hurting you. Not that they do it purposefully. But that I'm just saying, you need to be ready for both.
Both sides of the coin.
For one, absolutely.
I think that's part of my personal struggle in 2000. Like, I am open and dating and all that stuff, but that fear of that hurt, because once you felt that hurt, you don't want to feel it again. Absolutely. And so to have gone through that, I'm like almost very cautious about how I allow myself to open up and share with people. Like, I've had people tell me that I have a wall up. And I tell them it may be one, but it's like a partition. The more you do, the more it comes down. Like, you go up, the partition comes down. So I like that you pointed that out, but I think we just have to be mindful that if we are going to put ourselves out there and say that we're in the dating field, whether it be man, woman, whoever, you have to 100% do it. You can't allow the fear to hold you back. Why do you think, and as a guy, that men... I'll say, and I'm going to call men out on this one again, that men have like this fear of commitment. Because I feel like a lot of men are scared to just say, I can be locked down by one woman. Before they're in the stage of saying, I want to be married. Because a lot of times I think if a man decides he wants to be married, and he's open and ready for, when that woman comes along. But if he's not in that place, then they have like this fear of like, I don't want to commit. I don't want to do this full time. Even though I like her a lot.
That I do not understand because, like I said, I'm definitely... not like that. Not saying I'm trying to, as soon as I meet a woman, I'm trying to wipe her up. Definitely not saying that. But at the same time, I'm not afraid of commitment. And I think it all depends on the guy as well, because I'm thinking of the guys I know who are single that I consider my boys that I hang with. I don't think any of them have
a fear of commitment that you're aware of.
I mean, that, of course, relationship.
I'm like, because they are single.
When he's in a relationship. But, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I have. I definitely don't have that fear, but I don't know why some men.
Why they have a fear of commitment. What do you think, Courtney? Why do you think these men out here scared?
I was just thinking on my mind because I always talk about how I used to have a fear of commitment. So, but as far as men, I think a lot of the time there's that expectation like, I want this, and this, and then when they find a woman that's actually giving them all of those things, it's like, whoa, shit just got real. Right.
And talk a little bit about, in addition to that, when you talk about how, men either want the extreme or they want the minimal. Yeah, like that balance.
All the time, it's like either women are out here being basic or they're being extreme. And it's either I don't want that much from you, so I'll take whatever you can give me, and then the extreme side is I want all of this, and you got all of this going on for you. So you got a house, a car, a job, basic adult things that people should have. But anyway, but they're ready to sign up, and then they're putting all of this effort into it. So a lot of the time, men don't have to think about the dates. They don't have to think about being resourceful because you have women putting their everything into it. Right. And then you get to somebody who is balanced, where it's just like, I'm not extreme, but I'm not basic. Right. I'm just out here trying to fill things out, and if it organically happens, then we can move forward. But let's be friends first. And men are like, I don't know what to do.
What to do with
this? What is this? Like, you're not crazy. You're sound of mind. You have great conversation. Like, what do I do with that? So
I think women are the same way, though.
Oh yeah, it can be.
I don't know if women are the same way.
No,
I don't know.
Wait a minute. I don't know. Which part?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like,
about to get beat up.
Okay. I'm not gonna put in. Hopefully, she ain't listening.
Right.
But, like, I recently had a woman tell me. She said she would always say, "I'm the best guy she's ever dated," but didn't work out between me and her.
I got one of them.
And I'm like, if all these things, if you had a list of 100 things, and let's say I had 99 of them, and then you're like, I mean, it's like, what are you looking for?
But that's it. It's because I've been through that before. It's because she doesn't know. I've been through that whole thing at 21, 22 with that whole list.
No, she's like 37.
I don't understand. Like, when I was there, like, to answer that question, like, when I had that list of all the things, like, you're everything that I wanted, and it's just like, but at that moment I realized that you're not what I want. It's everything I wanted, but
on this
it's
list,
not speaking to me. Yeah, it's like, you're everything. You're everything on my list. You are my list guy, but it's not, I'm not getting those butterflies. I'm not seeing that spark. That star has dimmed and crashed somewhere. Like, it's no longer
how long
there.
will it take for you to realize that?
It took me 21, 22.
No, I mean, like, if you're in a relationship.
No, we didn't even get to a relationship piece. It was like,
I've been there, and I was in it for 2 years before I realized that I was with somebody that, but it wasn't a bad thing. I would say that's probably one of my few exes that to this day we are still like friends. I would guess cordial. You know, I don't hate them because I hate all my other exes. Very vocal about that, but. He was the only one that if I had that list that he met everything on there, it was just being younger, more immature. But I did find that I just didn't think that once we got older, it didn't, that same spark. Like, it's like having the list, but you want a certain energy. You want certain butterflies. You want certain things. And when you find that you're not getting that, it's like, you know, we broke up for other reasons. But when I think about it in hindsight, that's somebody that I probably couldn't be with because I think that we don't have like that. It's some kind of connection I feel like I should have or I want to have. But on paper, it's like when you go to a job, like on paper, they look good. On paper, he looks really good. And I think that he probably will be an awesome husband to somebody, but it's just not me. Mm-hmm. So I think that is the best. So why did you and that lady, that woman, break up? Do you remember?
Yeah. But
you can share, right?
No. I think we both came to an understanding that I wasn't for her and she wasn't for me.
Okay, so y'all had like a mutual understanding and were like, it's time to bow out.
Yeah, it kind of things started to somewhat taper off,
just dwindle off. Yeah. Okay, so it wasn't like a bad, you know, it's just like we just not here.
I mean, have I spoken to her since? No.
That's not a, you know, a lot of people don't agree with my philosophy on exes like this one right here.
But I will say this.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this.
Like
she's a really, really nice woman. The reason why I don't talk to her now is because from the get-go, I told her, I said, I have a lot of women as friends. So if it doesn't work out, we're not gonna be friends. And that wasn't trying to be rude or anything.
Yeah, it was letting her know.
I mean, I'm be honest with you. I have a lot of friends that are women. I don't need to. I have a lot of women that I can call and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the movies.
Want to hang out."
Yeah, I have a lot of that, so I don't have room for.
So you let her know, like, if this doesn't work out, we aren't gonna be BFFs.
Yeah, we're not.
Just so we're clear.
And she's a good person. I mean, I could call her up and hang out, but
it's no need.
Yeah,
you kind of cross that bridge.
I got enough to feel that, and I know that sounds bad to say it like
that.
It
does not at all. Not to me.
Yeah.
Look, so it does not sound bad at all. But
I think it doesn't sound bad, but I think that sometimes men can come across with that statement of, I have enough friends and you're out here dating, and to me I feel like a solid foundation for a relationship is to be someone's friend first. So when that comes out and you're dating somebody and it's just like, well, you know, my expectations is that, you know, I'm dating with a purpose, okay, great, but I want us to be friends first.
That may be part of the epidemic that we are missing that friendship piece first.
Like, you know, let's be friends first. I get you have a whole bunch of friends, but let us be friends first. We're friends with a purpose, though. You know, friends with a purpose.
But I can get that, but it's like if you weren't friends from the get-go and y'all just came together,
then you build that friendship. But you don't start dating. You need to go back and listen to the relationship timeline episode.
Right.
Because you don't start dating in phase 1. Yeah. So you go and you may be hanging out, like you may go on dates. But in the beginning, you are not dating because you're building that friendship that Courtney is talking about. You're getting to know one another. You're hanging out. It's not till later on once you decide, okay, we really do like each other.
Okay, well, maybe I should clarify. It's not like I told her like on the first time we went out. I guess I should clarify that. I mean, that was later where it came to be where if it didn't work out, we wouldn't be friends. Yeah, you know, so, but, I mean,
But the point is...
The point is...
You should have been our friend first, because I feel like if you all had started as friends, she would have realized at that moment that while you had everything that she wanted, there was no spark for her to continue into a relationship with you, because that's where I was. It was like, okay, I like this guy, everything is great, even though I will throw in there that his voice was not manly enough for me at the time, and that just really bothered me. There's nothing like getting on the phone and like that voice ain't there. So
sounded like a woman.
It was 21, 22. But either way, you know, it was one of those things where I was able to figure that out before we got into a relationship. So that's why it's so important.
Okay, question though then. So when does it transition from friends to dating?
That's something that you all discuss. I mean, you don't want to get into it where you're just like friends to the point that y'all friends on each other because y'all so busy being friends.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, is friends with the purpose. Let me get to know you. You know, we can be friends, and you know, maybe like after a month or so, when we see some consistency, hey, I would like to take you out on a date. How do you feel about that? Like, you're having that conversation, but especially if, you know,
I mean, I guess with us, we just started.
Yeah, I started dating.
Because that's what happens. I think that's a part of the epidemic, is that we all just dive in. Like you said, friends with a purpose. I think that if you meet someone out, you may initially, the way you're going to get to know if you even want to have a second conversation with them is you'll talk on the phone some, but then you will have, for me, a face-to-face meetup to see if I want to continue even speaking to you and have you in my universe. And I think from there, like Courtney said, and that's a really great way to put it, let's just continue to hang out. We aren't talking about titles. We are getting to know one another. And as you go on, you're going to see if you like each other. You're going to see if that chemistry or energy is there. And then I believe after a month or however you want to put it, it may not even be a timeline. I'm just going to say 30 days.
Right.
That you may say, okay, at this point, you know, let's try to, I'm not saying say monogamous, but let's start to see if we could date and see where this goes. And so I think if you kind of establish that foundation, it will help you with making better decisions on if this is my person, or if I really like this person, or what have I seen this person do that I may not want to be around, or I may not like all these friends that he has, that he brought me around.
Right. I'm like, I'm not able to do that.
You have to pay attention to all those things. I think we get in relationships and then we go and meet friends and family. But if you're in a friendship space, like, this is Shayna, this is my friend, I come meet your friend, I might hate all your friends. And then I'm like, well, we can't be together because I don't like none of them. But I may go and we may really like each other, kick it off. And I'm sure that's important to you with you having a lot of friends or somebody like that. So it plays a role. But I think we do have to bring friendship back.
And friendship means that we can hang out and do stuff. You're still doing stuff. It's just like you're not calling it a date. You're like, hey, we're friends. We're hanging out after that month or whatever timeline, because, you know, y'all are discussing it, friendship with a purpose.
Right.
Hey, I would like to do an official date, blah, blah, blah. You know, we do something real nice and kind of go from there. But it's so important to establish that friendship first, because I know for me, because I've been very strong about that. Like, I don't waver at all with being anyone's friend. If you don't want to be my friend, okay, goodbye.
Yeah,
But that saved me from a lot of heartache and a lot of disappointment with people, because you do get to see people, one, who they are for real. Like, no mask. I'm just showing you who I am, because at this point, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just being your friend.
Right.
And then, two, you go into it and you're like, okay, now that I get to know you, I get to know how you are on a bad day and all the rest of that stuff. And, you know, you talk about your family. I'm starting to see a few little quirks there that I'm like, I could deal with that. Or some stuff that I'm just like, hell no. Yeah. Let me ask more questions real quick. And if stuff ain't really falling where it needs to be, it's just like, you know,
got to make a different decision.
We need to not be into that dating space, but that's where the communication goes into it, where it's just like, hey, I'm interested in you, but I want to start off as friends first. We can set up a timeline as to how we want to go about it. I mean, you got to set those things up. It's not going to just fall into place.
I've never been able to have a successful conversation like that with a man. Like, they just shut down.
Really?
Absolutely. Talking about where is this going, or what are we doing type stuff, or let's build a foundation. It's just
are these young dudes?
No.
Oh.
These are those are the no expectations.
I don't know what's young to you, but they my age, so
in the 30 plus.
Yeah.
So I would say that goes right into, you're absolutely right, because when you do try to have any kind of conversation of substance, because I know I asked the guy, because he was just saying a lot of straightforward things, and so I just was like, I'm not gonna say exactly what I said. I'm gonna try to, because it was a little bit. I said something along the lines of basically, do you want to get to know me better? And because we had like a vibe or whatever, and so the conversation, but this was, no, let me back up. I said that and that went another way. This was even before I asked that question. I've encountered, and I want to make this clear, I've encountered 3 guys in the past, say, couple of months, that literally, when you have a conversation with them, and this is without me even prompting a question of, I'm not saying like, do you want to be with me? Can we be together? It's just like, so why are you on the app? Or what are you, looking for in a woman? What's going on? Literally, they have all said, I have no expectations. I'm looking to see what happens organically. And I call bullshit on that, because I believe, like Courtney pointed out earlier, number one, Because what am I met on a dating app? Why are you on a dating app if you're not looking to date? It's a dating app. Right. If you want to just have sex with somebody, you can find that person in public. That's easy. If you just want somebody to hang out with, find that somewhere else too. I think the other part of it is, I think that men sometimes I think what I think one of the guys didn't believe I caught was, I think it's a curve for saying I just want to fuck, but it's a new way of saying it. Mm-hmm. And they didn't think I was going to catch it. Because when I called it back out, like, oh, so you just want to fuck. And you're like, no, that ain't what I meant. That's exactly what you meant. Absolutely. You just didn't think that I was going to come back and say that to you. Right. So I just think that I call bullshit on the no expectations, because I feel like at the end of the day, no matter what setting it is that you meet a person, even if the expectation is that I'll just get to know you a little better, I might see where this goes, I might hang out with you once again, or I don't want anything at all, there is some sort of expectation, excuse me, within that realm. So why do you all think that? Why do guys do that? That no expectation, see what happens organically. Whatever happens is going to happen organically. Right. But even that can't happen organically if you don't plan for it to.
I mean, honestly, I feel like when you're into somebody, you're into somebody. So if somebody gets a straight off, like, I don't have no expectations, it's just like, well, one, he not that into you. Right. Or she's not that into you. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm into you and I'm looking into it, I'm going to state, where I'm at. Right. Especially at this age.
Right. Be very clear.
So,
yeah.
I agree with say, friends with purpose. And even if it's something that's on a dating app and people are like, well, how do you navigate out of that friendship until whatever, you're still in that dating space. It's just like, hey, let's take some things slow. Let's make sure that, we're not having sex immediately, because sex takes a lot of stuff out of it. It's just, you can still date and still build that friendship. You just have to find that balance.
And you have to be clear.
Don't want to put the effort into, or realize that relationships take work and it takes
energy.
Effort, and you can't just go into that honeymoon phase and think it's going to be
that way forever.
Yeah. But when you build a foundation and shit go left,
you got something to stand on, like a house.
Because at the end of the day, when you care about somebody, that's my friend. At the end of the day, we friends.
Yeah. Do I want to treat my friend that way?
Yeah. So it's just that whole spill for me. But that no expectation stuff, it's
BS. And what Ernest said, because something I told one of the guys, I'm like, you think too highly of yourself. It's like what you said. I think that sometimes when a guy says that, when as a woman, if we've been dating and I come to you like, so what are we doing? Or if I come to you off the rip, but if I haven't said anything or indicated in any way that I'm trying to build something with you, and then I ask a question of, so, what are you looking for? And it's immediately no expectation. That's what I'm going to tell the next motherfucker that decide that they want to say that to me. Like, you think way too highly of yourself, because if this is the choosing, then I'm probably just out of luck,
I mean, like, what is no expectations, though? Like, you just sit there and you're like, okay, we're on a date. Well, I don't have no expectations. So what are we doing here? Right. Like, what are we expecting?
What are we even talking about?
We don't have any goals. And if you don't have a goal for anything, then you're not going to go anywhere. So you have to have some type of expectation. You have it. It's just not what you want to say it is. Like,
just say it. I've literally said it to people, like, why are you sitting here next to me if you have, like, none? No, even if my expectations, I walk away with, I met a cool dude. Next time I come down here for a drink, I can hit you up to have one with me. Yeah. Try and be with you. Because I done found in this dating scene, I've met some guys that I think at this point would be cool to just hang out with. Mm-hmm. But I think that they get so caught up sometimes in thinking that you want them. It's like, I don't want you. Like, we hung out like once, twice.
They be like, oh my God, he said hi.
Yeah.
He wants it. Like,
what do you say about that, Ernest? You feel like it goes the same way with women?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I know some friends. I'm like, girl, he ain't checking for you.
Not at all.
He's just a gentleman. He's just being nice.
Also, I think this whole dating thing things have changed. I think sometimes women used to be like, well, I think a lot of women still feel this way, like, I'm the prize or whatever, but I think you have a lot of men out here who think
they are the prize.
Absolutely. And I think it's because, as we said before, some women are just so excited to have a man that they'll accept whatever. So some men are like, hey, I can just sit back and I'll choose what that's why why they may not respond to messages, or why they may say no expectations, because they may have so many different women hitting them up, and they're just like, I just want, they don't have to, so
it makes perfect sense when you look at it on the other realm, because I know I've sat in that seat where it's like, I respond to who I want to. I respond to some people faster than I do others.
He's just not that into you.
Yeah, so it's like I might, some people may not get responded to at all. It just depends on how I'm feeling when you do have those options. And I think that, well, I guess I would say for me, I feel like if I have options, like, don't shade me, don't try to curve me, like.
I mean, even if I don't have any options, if I don't want to fool with you, I'm just not going to fool with you.
Yeah,
period.
You gotta be clear about that.
Yeah, gotta be clear, because I've been praying for happy mediums like all year. That's been like my 2019 goal.
Explain that. What do you mean happy mediums?
Well, because with the men that I come in contact with, is either they doing too little or way too much too soon. Like, first date, I'm not your girlfriend. We are not together. Do not, like, I like to take...
Baby.
Calling me baby,
yeah,
boo.
I don't like the pet name. My name is Crystal all day long, at least for the first 6 months. Please don't. My name is Crystal. Yes. And don't call me baby. Don't call me baby. And I tell them this. I tell them these things. But I went on a date a few months ago with a guy that I met off the app. And he picks up the phone and says, I'm with my girlfriend. Let me call you back. Where's she at?
Talking about you.
No. And I told him, I was like, you doing your team too much right now.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to slow it down. It's like, I don't move that fast. Yeah. But it's like the whole date, he's just trying to do all this extra stuff, holding hands. And like, you got to go with the flow. Yeah. My flow is saying, stop it.
Yeah. I need you to stop it.
Mm-hmm. So you don't like to hold hands or
not a first date?
Oh, it was first. Oh,
yeah, it was the very first date.
Oh, no.
He's trying to hold hands, calling me baby, telling me that he about to lock me down. I'm his girlfriend, all this type of stuff. So it's like I get that, and that makes me like want to run for the hills. Or I get somebody that he don't even want to go nowhere. He just want to text me what I'm doing all day. What you doing? What you doing? Same stuff I was doing
5 minutes ago.
Right. Yes. And I'm just like, can I get something? Can we meet in the middle? Can we just take?
So, are you sending anybody good morning, beautiful text?
Nope.
Look,
that ended. No, and I never even would even do the. I mean, I do like good morning, but good morning, beautiful. That
it's so cliche.
It is.
It's so
like, don't call me beautiful, please.
Yeah. I mean, good morning, but nah.
Other than that, leave the rest of it off.
I don't. Yeah.
So, Crystal, tell us, how did that, after your boyfriend, after your first date, how did that go? Did you hear from him again?
Absolutely. I had, and I stopped texting him back. I did.
So you ghosted him? I
did ghost him, and now he's back on the app inboxing me, I guess, because he realized I wasn't texting him back.
Why didn't you just tell him?
Well, I did. I mean, I told him at the day, because we went out twice. The first day, we went out or whatever, and then I was off that week. So the next day I was like, I'm going to go to the movies tomorrow. It's a Tuesday. They had a $5 Tuesday. I was like, go. He's like, okay, we can go. And I wasn't expecting, and I wasn't inviting him, but I'm like, fine. So we went to the movies as well, and he was doing Team Too Much in the movies
The same thing.
Like, just very cuddly, above the waist, of course, because I wasn't going.
Yeah.
But it was just a lot of touching, and I'm
too much.
It was too much for me to have just met you yesterday.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't tell him, hey, you're never going to hear from me again, but I did tell him, I was like, you moving a little bit too fast for my taste.
Yeah. And that's one of those things on them red flags.
Yeah, I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
So, we texted a few times after that, but yeah.
Had to release him into his destiny.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes that way. I think he was somebody, we talked about that spectrum, either, basic, extreme, you were balanced. He was on the extreme side. Mm-hmm. And so it's sometimes you got to let him go. It's just not going to work out. So since we are talking about men, I wanted to bring this up. Recently I've encountered men who have been very forthcoming to me about how some women are, intimidating. And I just think that some men get intimidated. And you sigh because I'm sure you all have heard this before. Mm-hmm. And so, do you all think women are really out here doing things to intimidate men? Or are the men just not on their shit, so they are intimidated?
The latter.
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
I just feel, I can only speak for myself. I'm not purposefully out here trying to intimidate a man.
Right.
I am an introvert by nature. Right. So I'm naturally, like when I'm in social settings, sometimes I am sitting back just observing, watching. I'm very quiet. So they don't really know how to take that.
Right.
They may take it as, she's mean or she's being stuck up. She's standoffish. And it's none of that.
Right.
I'm just not saying anything. I'm just being observant. But if you would like to spark a conversation with me, I will speak to you. I will talk to you all day, and I will even smile. Yeah. But it's like, I know we all have that rest and be face or whatever the case may be. But I'm like, and I hate when men walk like, smile, Miss Lady.
Yeah,
First of all,
you smile,
nigga. Like say something to make me smile. Like, hello.
I'm having a great day, actually.
Right.
Why you look so mean?
And if I'm just walking around cheesing all day, y'all think I was crazy.
Yeah.
So no, like I may be in deep thought. Anything could be happening. You just never know. But yeah, I just think I call that as bullshit. Like,
okay.
As a big ass grown ass man, you scared of little old me?
Yeah.
What did I do? Nothing.
You look like you got something on your mind.
not just with this topic, but just in general, I'm always fascinated by the women, by the men that y'all meet, because when I hear these things, and I'm like, clearly I must hang around with some good dudes, because I don't know.
We have an offline conversation. He said he got single friends. We're gonna have him put on Facebook
because I'm like, why would I be intimidated? I don't.
We don't understand that.
We don't know either.
I don't get that. I mean, because...
But I hear it a lot.
I mean,
we do.
If she has a job and a
what Courtney
car,
said about having the bare essentials, I think these days what I run into is guys who, you know, you haven't even really said anything about yourself, but what they do know about you is you have a job. They might even know where you work. They know you have a car. Don't know what kind of car you drive. Know you have a house. They know you don't live with parents say. You got all your teeth in your mouth. And then, you know, and you have confidence and you're intimidating. And I'm like, how? I told you, I can tell you some shit that would probably intimidate you.
Right, you don't know.
But but I haven't told you anything about me. Right. And I've heard it from men that don't know much about me. So that's why I'm like, why? I know you're saying that your friends are just like the anomaly, that, you know, they aren't out here intimidated by women. But why do you think that some men may be intimidated by a woman? What are some reasons a man might be intimidated by a woman?
Because it'll probably force him to look at himself to realize what he doesn't have.
They say that's what marriage does.
you know, so he may realize, okay, I'm trying to holler at this woman and she has all these things,
but that's based on appearance. They're assuming that this woman has all these things.
It's
based on appearance, or based on the look that they see. They're making all these assumptions.
Or hell, they may even be thinking that this is an attractive woman. She might look better than me. She might be out of my league, or she might be taking or something, and so I'm not going to say anything to her. Not knowing, but I think that also what you just said, it causes a person. It's vice versa, because you know, a man could intimidate a woman, and because of what you have to see that you don't have, or they make you see your flaws or your insecurities, whatever the case may be. What do you think, Courtney? Why are these men out here? Why do you feel like you hear it?
Because they're dealing with the basics and then the extreme, and when you find that balance of somebody, you don't know what to do with it, and they can find that intimidating. Because I've had someone tell me that they're like, you're very intimidating, and it's just like, but why? And he said, because you have real conversation, and I don't know how to answer.
Well, at least he was able to
vocalize.
Right.
Let me know.
At least he was able to vocalize that.
Where y'all meeting these dudes?
In Nashville.
I meet them everywhere. Memphis. Places where I need to stop looking.
In the U.S.
New Orleans.
In the United States of America.
But
Earth.
The Earth is
or like
full of scary men.
You know, you're not walking around smiling all the time. And then they're like, oh, well, you look mean. And it's just like, I'm not mean. If you have a conversation with me, I will talk to you. Like, we can have the best conversation.
Same here.
The sun come up and we like, and then, and I'm somebody, I can talk about anything. We can talk about something so deep down to the carpet. Yes. Like, I'm that kind of person. So it's just like, you just have to give things a chance and not immediately think like no. Like I always tell people, it's not a no until they tell you it's a no.
Right.
You know, so it's like you gotta.
I've even encountered men, like being out, I've encountered men who will actually go up to one of my friends talking about me. And I'm thinking the whole time they hollering at my friend.
Yeah.
But they asking about me, asking questions about me.
And I'm sitting
saying,
right there.
I'm like right there sipping my drink. Nobody's talking to me. Like, what is the point of that? Everything you asked her, you can ask me, and now I'm sitting there thinking, oh, she can call her one. Well, let me see.
Right.
But the whole time, like, and I don't even find out till after we leave because he never says anything to me.
Even though I'm sure they've told him, just go talk to her.
Well, maybe that fear of rejection, or because sometimes women can be extreme in their reactions. I mean, if
extreme?
Well, I mean, it's like you can. I guess it depends on women.
Try to shoot your shot and she do some real crazy loud, embarrass you. I'm taking. I'm good.
Yeah, he may be like, I ain't trying to do all that. So that may be why he may be approaching. I mean, I'm not excusing it, but that may be why he's approaching the friend to see,
to filter it out.
Either from Adam.
She could have been the one that was out of control. I think that men have to, if we are out, probably smiling. If we're out, though, I think that men, you kind of have to peep game from across the room anyway. Like, stand back and watch what she's doing for a minute. Absolutely. Is her crew wild? Is her crew chilling? Is she just over there drinking her drink, Mm-hmm. And ultimately, if you are that afraid to come up and talk to a woman, then you probably don't need to have any expectations. Right. You are the guy that needs to be expectationless.
You need to not be dating, because if you're afraid to talk to somebody, I mean, goddamn.
That's one of the most imperative parts of dating.
All you gotta do is be like, hey, how you doing? You enjoying the party?
That's
but
it.
that's it. But it's not always that simple when when men can.
Why is it not?
Talk to them because, like as we've stated before, sometimes women assume that just because a guy is nice that you maybe my timeline is full of women who have bad experiences with men, but it's like some women think that if a man is nice to them, he is expecting something.
That he wants to be with them.
I'm like, I'm just a nice guy. So if I'm like, hey, how are you doing? That doesn't mean I'm trying to holler at you. It just means we both may be at this party sitting here like we don't want to be here, and I may be just trying to strike up a conversation. But I'm not trying to holler at you.
Trying to get with you.
She may think that, nah, I'm good. Like, okay,
but I think that men have to be willing, just like women, and open to do it. Because I've been at parties or been at a bar, whatever, like go out to eat by myself, and a man has sparked up a conversation, and when I get ready to go, he paid my bill. Like we just sit there and talk about like the game on sports. And I never assumed that until you approach me in that way, like what's up, like eventually, like can I get your number? The whole time I'm assuming that you just want conversation, unless you in my personal space, then I know that it's something else. Yeah. But most times I think sound women like us and the women that we know have a good barometer to know if a man is literally, we both miserable in this party, so we just gonna talk to each other, or he's really trying to holler, or how to gauge it. So I think that we all just have to use better judgment when it comes to how you approach. You have to pay attention to the scene, because even if I see a guy in a party that I'm interested in, I'm not walking right up to him, because one, I need to make sure he's here by himself, like not with a woman. I need to see, is he with the fools that was over there on the couch, so we paying attention to a couple of things. And then, if I'm going to shoot my shot or whatever, depending on how much liquid courage I got. Or as women, I might send my friend. I might do that. I think that's okay for us to do it, not for y'all to do it. So I might step up to the plate that way. So I think that we just have to look at the total picture, and everybody has to have a little bit less fear. And we'll be right back. Hi, everybody. I really do hope that you love To Be Single or Not to Be. But did you know that you can actually get paid just for listening to this podcast? I know, it sounds insane, but it's true. We just discovered this free new app called Podcoin, and it literally pays you to listen to podcasts. So, here's how it works. You listen to podcasts and you earn Podcoin while you listen. Then you turn that Podcoin in for gift cards at places like Amazon or Starbucks. Or if you're a good person, you could even donate that Podcoin to charity. The more you listen, the more you earn. So here's what you need to do. Download the app right now on iPhone or Android, and I have a special code for you. Simply use our code To Be Single or Not to Be, and you'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up. And if you listen to enough of us on there, you can get a cappuccino at Starbucks or an Amazon gift card on us. So go ahead and go listen to this podcast or virtually any podcast on Podcoin and sign up with the code To Be Single or Not to Be. I swear, it'll change the way you listen to podcasts. So for today's Living Single topic, it's not something that a listener sent in, but it's from an Instagram post that I saw this week. And I posted it on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I got favorable answers for what I think is favorable. But I wanted to share it with the listeners to see what you guys think. So feel free to leave a voice message, comment on Facebook or Instagram in my inbox, and let me know your thoughts. So the post read something along the lines of, if a girl is out on a date with a guy and the girl's friend walks up and the guy gives her a compliment and says that she looks nice, is that a problem? Is the guy in trouble? And I said, no, the guy should not be in trouble, because if it's genuinely my friend and she walks up and she looks nice, I'm probably going to tell her that she looks nice as well. So I wouldn't have a problem with my guy being a gentleman and doing it also. And I feel that if you think that it's a problem, number one, you have some insecurities that you need to look at and check into. But number two, you were probably on a date with a fuckboy in the first place and you shouldn't have been there after all. So that's my stance. Feel free to leave feedback on what your stance is and send your questions in via DM on Facebook or Instagram for our Living Single segment, and we'll be right back. Well, here we are to the end of the first part of this episode. Originally, when I planned on doing this episode, I thought that it would take just like 45 minutes, an hour. We can make it one episode, but as you guys can see, we were having some real juicy conversation that made it a 2-part episode, and I do not have a problem with that. So make sure that you listen, you share, you like, you subscribe, and tune in next week for part 2 of Dating. Is it really a war zone? And I leave you with the question on every episode: to be single or not to be? Signing off, Shanna Montana.